It's backwards. That's lame. What the fetch? It's still backwards.
Gotta go the other way. Great start, right?
Trying to work this thing out here.
No, it's gotta go upside down.
Upside down? Wait, it is... Ugh. There we go.
There you go.
Trying to figure this periscope thing out. Alright. Is that good?
Yep.
Whatever.
Alright, welcome everybody. I'm Tanner.
I'm Kenny.
And this is our second video for the third week in the college football season. We missed last week. Been busy.
School and work and everything, so...
Yeah. Alright, let's get to it. So, last week we talked about a lot of things, but BYU going to Nebraska. Also, Boise State facing Washington. How did things go for you with the Nebraska game and BYU?
Well, it was really tough knowing that our quarterback, Taysom Hill, was out for the season again.
Yeah, it was rough.
Third season-ending injury out of the 4 years he's been on the team. So, and we also lost a defensive guy as well. So it just...
For a couple of weeks.
But we still won. BYU still won on a Hail Mary pass, which got us all cheering crazy after the game, and it was an intense game. So, and BYU won it 33-28.
Yeah, so I was picking BYU to win 35-28. What about you?
I had them blowing out Nebraska, and it looked like it was going to be a blowout almost at halftime, but because they were about to score again and make it 31-14, and then
That's true.
Taysom Hill got hurt, couldn't do much, and threw an interception, and
Yeah.
different game was played. So
Yeah. So with last week we didn't make a video for Boise State, but we still had our predictions. I had BYU winning 24-21. What about you?
I had BYU in a big margin against Boise State again. I thought Tanner Mangum was going to just throw the ball like crazy, which he did some plays, but they didn't throw it much. They tried running it more, which the running game wasn't as good until second half. But I had them 47-19 last game. And
then of course the score, if you didn't know, was 35 BYU 24 Boise State. Okay, so we got a bunch of big games going on this week. BYU will be going to the Rose Bowl and playing UCLA.
Going to be a hectic game at the Rose Bowl. So it's just when BYU goes there. The last time they went there, it was a really close game to the end of the game, and so with both quarterbacks, UCLA's quarterback and BYU's quarterback being both freshman quarterbacks,
who knows what will happen.
Yeah. Josh Rosen, the quarterback for UCLA, he hasn't really had a really, really hard opponent playing against. They played against Virginia and UNLV, so I don't think he's had a real big test yet against a really good opponent yet. So I think BYU's defense is going to take on Josh Rosen, and I think he's going to make a few mistakes. Same with Tanner Mangum, though. I think they're going to rattle Tanner Mangum up a bit for BYU as well. So I think both quarterbacks is just going to come down to the offense and see what both offenses can do.
So I think one of the problems for this game for BYU is not being able to establish the running game. UCLA has a really good running back, and I think his name is Paul Perkins. But BYU, I don't know if Adam Heeney will be able to get it done like he did last time. He didn't have a great game, but towards the end he was able to pick things up. So I see UCLA winning this by 7-8 points. We'll go 28-20.
Well, for me, I have BYU winning by a close game. I see defense coming out and playing as good as they did against Boise State, keeping UCLA to 24 points. And I see BYU scoring 26 points. And how I see that is Trevor Sampson, the kicker, he's going to make a few field goals. And I think that's going to be the last points that BYU puts up is a field goal. But that won't be the game. I think at the very end, the defense of BYU is going to stop UCLA from scoring, and BYU is going to win 26-24.
It'd be, I think, the biggest win for Bronco Mendenhall is a win against UCLA. 3 big-time wins in a row. I think that could vault him into the top 10.
The Oklahoma game in 2009 was probably his biggest that he's won.
That was big because it was a high-ranked opponent, but they didn't follow that up with, or precede that with big wins.
Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But especially if BYU wins big against UCLA, the Cougars could easily get into the top 10.
And it's crazy because you would never think that BYU would play that well without
Taysom Hill,
the senior quarterback, Taysom Hill, and then a senior running back with Jamal Williams. But they're somehow pulling it off still, and it's incredible. So a better team than I would expect without some talented players. So.
Okay, so a couple other games that are going on that we're going to talk about is Utah going to Fresno State, Utah State going to Washington, and then Boise State right now they're taking on Idaho State. Tell me about what you think of those games.
Well, start off with the Utah game. I think since Travis Wilson.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm not a big Utah fan, but I think since Travis Wilson is out for the season, not for the season, but he's out for injury. Do you know when to win? Have they?
I haven't heard.
Anyway, so for at least a game or two, I think that Utah is going to beat Fresno State, not by too much, but I think there'll still be a 25-point margin. I think Utah will pull away and win 35-10 against Fresno State. It's not going to be that huge of a blowout, but it will still be a pretty good win.
I see it being a little bit closer. I think it'll be 27-17, just because Utah's offense it just isn't quite.
Yeah, I agree with that. And even last game with Utah State, since Utah State hasn't really been playing extremely well, it seems like they played really well against Utah. So made it a close game with Utah. So Utah's offense isn't really strong right now, but maybe they'll make it stronger during the season. So.
All right. So what about Utah State at Washington?
I think this would be a close matchup. Washington isn't the strongest offensively. They have a freshman quarterback as well, which didn't really play very well against Boise State. Boise State's defense is superb.
They're really good. Yeah.
But also Utah State, they have Chuck Keaton, but Chuck Keaton is it seems like he's the only good player on the team right now. Defensively,
it's not entirely true, but
defense is pretty good, but they need some other players to step up and help Chuck Keaton, especially the offensive line, because it doesn't seem like Chuck Keaton has that much of a support to make big plays and play as good as he can.
Okay, so I'm picking Utah State to lose to Washington 14-24.
I didn't even put my prediction up. You cut me off. So Utah State I have 20, Washington I have 28. So both really close games. I have them winning by 8. He has them winning by 10. I mean, you have USU winning, right?
No.
Oh, okay. You have Washington winning.
Okay, and then as we said today, Boise State's playing Idaho State, and I think Boise State will win 38-6. I don't know what the score is right now, but
yeah, I don't either. So I have Boise State winning 44-10. And also Boise State is playing against BYU's quarterback, Tanner Mangum's brother, who the first week of college football was number 2 underneath the Hail Mary for BYU the top
Sports Center top 10.
Sports Center top 10 plays. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, that wraps things up. We want to wish my brother Landon Sperry a happy birthday.
We don't have any like cool like
sounds things
or party things. So, but happy birthday, Landon. Hope you had a good day. Wish you the best. Anyway, you can find this video. It'll be saved on YouTube. You can search the _, which is his page, and you can find other videos that we've posted there for 2 weeks ago. And we're going to be doing this every week. But we'll have it posted when and what time. So
let us know what games you are interested in hearing about and hearing our predictions about. Obviously, we don't have time to give them all, but these are the teams that are relevant to us. So for the most part. So.
Anyway, so thanks for watching, and sorry it took a little bit to figure out the camera, and we're gonna have to shut it off this way too. So until next time.
All right, thank you everybody. Adios.